The young monk's sigh echoed through the temple courtyard, like the wind brushing the old bamboo leaves. Every morning he promised himself that tomorrow he would wake earlier, meditate longer, and serve more diligently. Yet each dawn came and went the same way. He turned over on his mat, convincing himself that one more hour of rest wouldn't matter. But deep down he knew it wasn't the body that was tired. It was his spirit that had grown heavy with excuses. One day his master, an elderly monk with eyes as calm as still water, noticed the pattern. He approached the young monk and said softly, "Tomorrow never comes for those who keep waiting for it." The monk bowed in shame. "Master, I truly want to change, but every time I try, I fail. My will is weak." The master smiled faintly. "Come with me," he said, motioning toward the mountainside behind the temple. They walked in silence until they reached a small patch of earth where a single seed had been placed into the soil. The master knelt beside it. "Tell me," he said, "when will this seed grow?" The young monk frowned. "When it has enough rain, warmth, and sunlight." The master nodded. "And what if it waits for the perfect day, a day without too much wind, without too much heat, without any discomfort?" "Then it may never grow," replied the monk. The master's voice deepened. "Exactly. Laziness is the seed that keeps waiting for perfection. Discipline is the seed that grows even in the storm." The words struck the monk's heart like thunder. He looked at the tiny seed again, fragile, buried, unseen, yet destined to break through the earth with silent strength. The master continued, "Laziness is not the absence of energy. It is the abundance of thought. You think too much before acting. You ask if it will be easy, if it will be worth it, if it will feel good. The more you think, the more you drown in hesitation." He then handed the monk a small wooden bowl filled with water. "Take this to the temple without spilling a single drop." The monk began his walk carefully, but the path was uneven, the stones slick with moss. Each time he focused too much on not spilling, he stumbled. Each time he moved too fast, the bowl shook. When he finally reached the temple, exhausted but successful, the master asked, "What did you learn?" The young monk answered, "That I had to move with awareness, not too slow, not too fast. I had to feel every step." The master smiled. "That is the path of right effort. Discipline is not born from force, but from steady presence. You do not need to conquer the mountain today, and only to keep walking." The monk reflected deeply that night. He realized that his laziness had always worn clever masks. "I'll start tomorrow. I'm not ready. I need the right moment." He saw now that all these thoughts were illusions, gentle lies the mind tells to protect itself from discomfort. He understood that there would never be a perfect moment, only this one. The next morning, before the sun rose, he got up quietly and began to sweep the temple floor. His body resisted, his mind protested, but he kept moving. One stroke at a time, one breath at a time. Days turned into weeks. The task never got easier, but his relationship with effort changed. He no longer waited to feel motivated. He acted first, and the feeling followed. Every act of discipline became a prayer. Every small victory, waking early, finishing his duties, became a reminder that progress is built from consistency, not bursts of inspiration. He started meditating longer, not because it was easy, but because he saw the beauty in persistence. One morning, he found his master meditating under the same tree where they had spoken weeks before. The seed had sprouted into a small plant, fragile yet alive. The monk smiled. The master opened his eyes and asked, "What do you see?" "I see growth," the monk replied. "And what made it grow?" "Rain, sun, and time." The master shook his head gently. "No, it grew because it did not wait." The monk bowed, tears welling in his eyes. He finally understood. Laziness is not a lack of willpower, but a lack of presence. When you are here, fully aware, every action, no matter how small, becomes sacred. The mind that overthinks loses power. The mind that acts awakens. From that day on, he never spoke of motivation again. He spoke only of commitment. When novices came to him years later, complaining that they felt too lazy to meditate, he would tell them, "The master is not the one who never feels lazy. The master is the one who acts even when he does." And just as the seed did not wait for perfect conditions to bloom, he too learned to rise, to move, to grow, even through the storms. Because discipline, he realized, isn't a cage. It is the path that sets the spirit free.